Hi guys and girls, in this video we're gonna be looking at this beautiful spoon. This spoon came to me from a thrift store. I found this in one of the bags that they have on the racks. Usually if you go there, you're gonna have these bags just hanging on the racks, and inside each of those bags you're gonna have maybe 3 or 4 different spoons. I would usually look through the bag, try to identify something that looks like silver, and if I'm more or less certain that that could be silver spoon, the whole bag usually will cost about, I have seen them maybe for $2.99 to $3.99. Sometimes I have seen them for $7 or $8. For most of them, $3.99 to maybe $4.99, maybe $2.99. Again, depending on the bag, how many spoons they have inside there and stuff like that. So let's take a look at this beautiful spoon. That's how it's looking, just the top and the bottom. Now this spoon, if you look here, it's actually very thin. Look at that. So maybe it's a very old one. I don't know how old it is. If you have any clue, let me know down in the comments. That's how it's looking. Maybe the spoon came from Egypt, just judging by the picture right here. Maybe it's not. If you know, do let me know. There's a mark just down there. I'll take a look at what it is. Doesn't look like it's some kind of a writing. Looks like it's just maybe a stamp of some kind of a symbol or something. So when I picked this up, when I saw this spoon, I kind of like this part because it looks imperfect, which means that maybe this was made by hand. Even the shape of this oval doesn't look perfect. So to me, that's a good indicator that this has maybe been handmade. And if it is, in my eyes, this will be extra value because not too many people making these spoons, if anyone, these days by hand. Most of these, even if they are silver, will be stamped at the factory and produced in high volume. That's how it's looking. And I was thinking, you see there's a little dent there. I was thinking that that's a stamp, but I don't think it is. The only stamps I see are just on the back there. So if I were to guess, just completely wild guess here, I would say that this thing may be from 16th century, but I could be exaggerating and that may not be true. But again, if I would be guessing, that's what I would say, or maybe 17 at the most, maybe even 15th century if it was completely handmade. Let me take a look at this mark to see what it is. Okay, so I do see there are 3 stamps in there, each stamp inside the square. First stamp looks like, I can't even say what it is. The second stamp looks like a crown, and the third stamp looks like a dot inside the square, and there's like half moon underneath that. And first one, just going back, I can't even make out what it says. It looks like it's maybe a face or something like that. It is very hard to say what it is. Let's see if our camera can bring it up to you so you can take a better look. If you're able to determine what it is or if you're familiar with it, please let me know. But that's how it's looking. Trying to see how close can I get so the camera is still in focus. If you're able to say what it is, please let me know down in the comments. Would be helpful to know. That's the spoon. I think we'll just make 2 marks. We'll do the bottom part right here and we'll do maybe the head of the Sphinx there. All right, let's go ahead and start. By the way, this spoon feels very thin, surprisingly. It is a very thin spoon for sure. Metal feels very nice and soft here for sure. And this part right here, it's very thin, literally. I don't think it's bendable. Yeah, I could bend it. I don't want to break it. It's nice and solid piece. All right, let's do the head of the Sphinx here. Okay, metal coming off very easily. Literally super easy. I do not have to press hard at all. There we go. We got our 2 marks. So this is the first mark just right there. And this is the head of the Sphinx. All right. Let's take our 18 karat acid and do the test to see what this is. First drop on the first mark. Okay, so that's turning very quickly, nice and blue. Excellent. Now I see it turning white. That's exactly what we're going to want to see. Let's do our second drop on the second mark. Okay, so that's turning nice and blue as well. Excellent. All right, we have our test results. Now let me take a quick peek just at that stamp in there, if it's a stamp. I'm gonna try to determine if that's a stamp or not. Oh my goodness, I could not believe that. It looks like, it does look like, so that's a stamp actually. Let me just see if this thing can focus here. Come on camera, you can do it. Okay, that little dot there, right there, that's a stamp. Let me see if I can bring it closer to you. Let me know down in the comments if you know what it is. All I can say, it's definitely a stamp. I do see a square and I see some kind of a symbol in there. It could be some foreign language, which I'm not able to determine, but it's definitely a stamp. No doubts at all. So there we go. Those are the results. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one.